Hello, I'm Cornelius Grant, formerly as being the sixth member of the Temptations group from 1964 up until about 1982. I first met Mickey Stevenson when I was playing locally in Detroit, and I was just joining the Musicians Union, and I was still in high school actually. And at the Musicians Union, I saw this guy who was very sharply dressed and hair done to the nine. And because he was dressed so sharply, I was curious because in Detroit at that time, what we call, the hustlers, for lack of a better word, pimps and hoes were the guys and girls who really dressed and were really sharp doing those deals. So those were our role models, so to speak. But I saw this guy at the Musicians Union, and I'm wondering, what is a guy who's in the hustler life doing in the Musicians Union? So I inquired as to who is this guy? So somebody said, well, that's Mickey Stevenson, and he's putting together musicians for Hitsville. Well, Hitsville at that time was what was to become later Motown. And so I was like, oh, Mickey Stevenson, Hitsville, okay. So I just kind of filed that away. That was my first encounter with him. Later, when I met him at Hitsville, by that time he had become, I think at that time they'd already put him in the position of A&R director. And so there was a few encounters with him, but mostly all positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say this. I met Mickey Stevenson when he fired me at Motown. Say that.
Okay. I met Mickey Stevenson when he fired me at Motown.
Now you can go with the mostly positive encounters, but I want you to tell that story, why he fired you.
Okay. And the reason Mickey fired me, and it was only one day, by the way, but I had been doing some producing and writing locally in Detroit. And there was a group that I had previously produced, and the record was released, and they were playing the record on the radio. So Mickey, being his sharp ear, heard the recording and noticed there was a very close resemblance to the sound that was happening at Motown. So when I walked in the studio that day, he said, did you produce that song on this group called the Arabians? And I said, what song are you talking about? So he named the song. I said, oh yeah. So Mickey immediately said, bar him out of the studio, because he's over here stealing our sound. to which I said, Mickey, I produced that thing, way before I even came over here, So he said, no, bar him out of the studio. So I thought that was it, but I showed up the next day, to do a session, and it just sort of went away. So I was fired from Motown probably for a day by Mickey.
What do you think of Mickey as you watched him move through Motown?
I've always thought Mickey was probably one of the sharpest entrepreneur type as far as the music business. He always was full of ideas, and I imagine one of the reasons that Mickey is on so many songs is because he had a knack of being able to come and listen to a song, or part of a song, and put the finishing touches or tell what the song needed, you see. So as a matter of fact, when I did get with the Temptations, our first medley that we put together, I wanted to do an opening of the show, and I wanted to be a, kind of an exciting medley, because I had worked with Marvin Gaye previously, and we did 31 Nighters with James Brown. And I watched James Brown, how he put his show together. So I wanted that kind of spontaneous kind of stuff. So I was talking to Mickey before rehearsal one day, and I said, Mickey, I need to do like a medley. that we can open with that would be kind of exciting. So he says, well, what kind of medley you want to do? I said, well, something like about 4 songs or whatever. And immediately he just rattled off. He said, okay, open with that. What's that song? Why You Want to Make Me Blue thing? Open with that. He said, no, what's that other song? What's the other song? I said, well, Girls All Right With Me. Yeah, that's that slow song. He said, take out of that, go into Girls All Right With Me. And let's see, what's that other fast kind of song? I said, I was trying to think of the name of it. And it said, I'll Be in Trouble. Oh, yeah, okay. Do I'll Be in Trouble. And then you need to close out. So you got an up-tempo to close out with. I said, well, what about Love I Can See? Yeah, that's it. Put those songs together, do it in a medley. That became our opening 4-song medley for the longest period of time. You know, and Mickey did that in like 5 minutes, just as a talk, you know. Now, a lot of people don't know that Marvin Gaye, I don't know if this has been told, but Mickey is really responsible for Marvin Gaye, the way he sings, because Marvin was a crooner. And the first album that he did was a song like Mr. Sandman and all these crooner type songs, you know. He had a real smooth voice, because Marvin, I guess, always had the idea of being like a Frank Sinatra type. Well, Mickey took Marvin in the studio, and this song, I think it was, what was it? What was the song?
Hum it more, I'll hear you.
Okay. A lot about me. Stubborn Kind of Fella. I couldn't think of it. He took Marvin in the studio, and they were doing Stubborn Kind of Fella, and he had raised the key. So Marvin had to literally almost kind of scream the song in order to sing it, right? But because of that sound, that became really Marvin's signature sound, you know, and it was Mickey Stevenson who really created that with Marvin Gaye. Took him into another level of singing.
So he raised the key on purpose?
Yeah, I think he did, so he would have to sing a lot higher, you know. That, you might have to ask him the reason, but I just know that part of the history of how Marvin arrived at that growling type of singing in his voice, you know, so.
What do you consider Mickey to be as it relates to you?
One word, mentor. Not just because he's older, but over the years, I have to say one of the things I have called Mickey maybe sometimes in the middle of the night, and it's not, we've never hung out together, but I've called him on the phone to ask advice sometimes about certain things in the business. He's never turned me down. He's never been too busy. He always has given me what he considered to be the best advice. So, in one word, I would call him a mentor.
What kind of guy do you think Mickey is?
I think Mickey is probably a guy with a big heart, and he has a nurturing personality. That's what makes him such a good teacher of people. When I walked into the dressing room today, he was teaching a young girl about being shy and singing. And I walked in and I said to his singer, what's her name? Pat. I said to Pat, I said, he's still teaching after all these years, right? She said, yep, he never quits. So I think he has a nurturing quality about his personality. He likes to see things work. He likes to see people get better, particularly in this business.
Can you wait about 10 minutes, please? We're filming right now.
Do I need to do any of this over?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even catch most of it. If anything, I could fix it. It's no big deal.
Okay.
Did he ask you?
Okay. She's been doing this to me for the past 2 days, non-stop.
The door needs to be locked, apparently.
Yeah.
Was somebody, some street person?
thought it was someone stealing the computer.
Does it lock, Bobby?
Yeah, but we don't have the actual key.
Oh,
It's just like a temporary, just to keep it closed.
okay.
Mm.
What was he doing?
Getting warmer here, huh?
It's very warming, but this is a piece of cake compared to yesterday. We didn't have any air conditioning at any time.
All right.
So you instantly start sweating when you sit down. Okay, you're a little lackadaisical today, a little slow in the talking.
Yeah.
So I want you to give me some more energy,
Okay.
right? And I want you to make me laugh at the story of Mickey firing you and I want you to take me back to the musician union when you were 15 and you saw Mickey. Don't say he was a player, don't say he was a pimp. Just say,
Well,
just say, I know that's what you thought, but
that's what I thought. But I
yeah,
mean, yeah.
but that's okay. You were just,
Okay.
he stuck out like a sore
Okay,
thumb, okay?
I'll edit that part out.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this again. Little more energy, little
Okay.
happiness.
All right.
I'm Cornelius Grant and I am
Oh, all the way from there?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
let's do it right.
All right. Say when.
Y'all ready? Okay.
Hello, I'm Cornelius Grant. Some people call me the Sixth Temptation because I spent quite a number of years sort of as the sixth member of the group. I joined the group in like 1964 and I stayed there until 1982. During that time, I became songwriter, arranger, conductor, and good friend of the group.
I met Mickey.
I met Mickey Stevenson when I was still in high school. I had started to play with a local band and was told that I needed to join the Musicians Union. So I went to the Musicians Union to join up. And I saw this guy who was very smartly dressed. And he kind of stuck out. And I asked somebody, who's that guy? And he said, well, that guy is Mickey Stevenson. He's over here putting together some musicians for Hitsville. I said, Hitsville? Well, I'd heard of Hitsville, you know, it's a local company, which was later to become Motown. So that was the first encounter. Later, Mickey fired me for one day. After I joined, the first person I really worked with the company was Mary Wells. And during my tenure with Mary Wells, a record that I had produced locally, which was probably a couple of years before, was released and it was playing on the radio. So one day I walked into the studio and Mickey said, did you produce that song on the Edward Hamilton and the Arabians? And I said, yeah, I did that. He said, bar him out of the studio because he's stealing our sound. Which to him, I was like, I did that before I even came over here, you know. So anyway, it sort of went by because the next day I came expecting to be told that I was barred out, but nothing happened after that. But I was fired for one day by Mickey Stevenson from Motown.
How did Mickey, or how did the other people at Motown look at Mickey?
Well, by the time I became an integral part, I guess, of the project, I think Motown had put Mickey in the position of being A&R director. I don't even know if he knew what it was at that time, but he was known to be the guy who pulled all the things together. I mean, he had good instincts for hiring people. For example, like Martha and Vandellas, putting the Funk Brothers together, you know, the musicians. He was an all-around powerhouse around there, you know. And as far as songwriting, he had a knack of being able to listen to a song that someone was working on and putting finishing touches on the song or telling them what he thought the song needed. So he was all around, I think.
And in later years, what's been your relationship with Mickey?
The later years, he's been a good friend and, quote me when I say a mentor. Because over the years, I've called Mickey at various times to get advice about the business, and he's never turned me down or was too busy to share with me his knowledge and to kind of set me on the right track as far as the music business goes. So I owe a lot to him for that.
So he gives good advice?
I think so. I think he wouldn't try to tell anybody something that was wrong. I honestly feel that when he gives you advice, he gives you advice to the best of his ability. And that's all you can ask for.
Describe Mickey in a few words. Mickey Stevenson is?
Mickey Stevenson is a talented, unrelenting entrepreneur and, again, mentor.
Okay. Anything?
If you could thank Mickey for anything he has done for you or for Motown, what would it be?
Just answer?
Yeah.
Okay. If I could thank Mickey for anything, in addition to the ideas that he added to the Temptations show when I became the guitarist and musical director, I would say I would thank him for not, when he fired me for one day, for not letting that stick, because otherwise I probably wouldn't be here. You know.
What do you think Motown should thank him for?
I think Motown should thank Mickey because, one, the Funk Brothers. And that almost says it all, because those guys that he put together made not millions, billions of dollars worth of music for Motown. And so I would say Mickey was the pivot point person for putting that together.
Say the names of the Funk Brothers.
Ooh. The original Funk Brothers.
Original Funk
The
Brothers.
original Funk Brothers I can remember were Joe Hunter, Henry.
Instrument.
Okay.
An instrument.
Oh, gee.
Okay.
Okay. Wait a minute. I'm trying to think of Mike's last name. Okay. The ones that I can remember: Joe Hunter, piano. Benny Benjamin, drums. Henry Cosby, saxophone. Larry Vida, who was a guitarist, who I replaced with Mary Wells at the time. And Mike, I don't know why I can't think of Mike's last name, who was the baritone player. And I'm embarrassed.
Jameson.
And James Jameson, bass player, yeah.
Okay. Now, you want to throw in Uriel and Bongo Eddie?
Yeah, well, like I said, these guys came later, you
Yeah.
know.
So those
Yeah.
were the original.
The original guys, yeah.
And
Mike Terry, that's what I can think
Mike Terry. Okay. Let's do that again.
Okay.
Let's start with who were the original Funk
Okay.
Brothers.
The original Funk Brothers, as I remember, was Joe Hunter on piano, Mike Terry on baritone sax, Henry Cosby, saxophone, Benny Benjamin on drums, and James Jameson on bass. And I have to add, I'm not sure if Eddie Willis was the original guitar player. I don't think he was. So I have to still say Larry Vida was the original guitarist.
What about Earl Van Dyke?
Well, Earl Van Dyke came later.
Okay. All right.
Like the originals, you know, Joe Hunter was
Yeah.
like the original.
Right. Okay.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.